Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title, today I'm going to be talking about how my brother passed away. My little brother passed away in August. So roughly 6 or 7 months ago, he passed away. He was in New York City, the time of his death. We received a phone call that he didn't make it. Well, my mom received the phone call. She called me. She was very distraught, of course. She was just frantic. I couldn't understand what she was saying. She just kept saying he didn't make it. He didn't make it. And I'm thinking, who didn't make it? I have tons of brothers, I have tons of uncles, tons of cousins. Who didn't make it? What are you talking about? So she blurts out and says his name. He didn't make it. So I'm like, what are you talking about? So I couldn't really get the gist of the story or what happened by speaking to her, because she couldn't really formulate her sentences well enough to describe or explain what happened. So I got the phone number from her. I called the hospital. He was at New York Presbyterian. I called the hospital. I identified myself. I identified him just by giving his name, date of birth, and the important information that you would need to kind of see if your loved one is in the hospital or, being treated there. So they handed the phone off to the doctor. The doctor said, yes, I'm sorry to inform you, but your little brother did not make it. And I'm like, so what happened? What you mean? What exactly happened? The doctor goes on to explain to me that he was hit by a train. She said, we'll give you guys some time to get over here to identify the body. But unfortunately, he was hit by a train. He came into the hospital, excuse me. He was brought in by the EMS, and he was fighting. He fought for an hour and a half to 2 hours, but he succumbed to his injuries. So I had called my aunt because she was in New York. I called all my family who were in New York and was explaining to him, they're saying that he didn't make it. Pee-wee didn't make it. And they, everybody was confused. They're trying to figure out what was going on and what happened. I'm like, I don't know. They say he got hit by a train. They need us to identify the body. I need to warn you guys, I'm not sure how this body's going to look when you get there, because when you hear someone get hit by a train in New York City, you're thinking of the worst. So I called his children mother, and she was like, okay, I'm going right now. She went up to the hospital. She called me. She said, yes, that's him. She said, he doesn't look like he was hit by a train because his body is intact. He has little thing on the back of his head, like a little, how can I say, a hole on the back of his head. But other than that, he has all his limbs. He has all his, face is fine. Everything is fine. He's fine. He just has the hole in his head. So, of course, we wanted more answers. So I started to call the police station, call the transit department, the police station, called everybody who I can possibly think of that morning. And that night, that's what we were on the phone doing, is just calling these people, trying to figure out exactly what happened. They sent his body to the medical examiner. The medical examiner confirmed that he passed away due to blunt force trauma to the neck and head, by being struck by I think it was a southbound train. I'm not exactly sure what direction the train was going in, but by a train in Queens Plaza. There was one witness who was there who was saying, he was just seemed a little off, but he didn't think anything of it. When the train came, he banged his head on the train, and his head bounced off the train and then bounced back on the train, and that's when he fell completely out. That's when the cops came. That's when they called EMS, and then they took him from Queens Plaza. They took him to New York Presbyterian, because New York Presbyterian is the best trauma hospital in New York City. And that was it. I've never known anybody personally, even living in New York City for a good amount of my life, who has personally gotten hit by a train or passed away in that manner. So it is, I was going to say it was hard, but it is extremely hard to process that, to process the fact that he passed away in such a traumatic manner. But yeah, I know a lot of people who is close to me and my family and close to my brother and, my mom or whatever the case may be. They knew he passed away, but out of respect for the family, they didn't ask how he passed away. And those who did know, when you say, okay, well, he got hit by a train, then they go down, okay, well, how, why, what, just start asking you 1,000,001 questions where you don't have the answer to. We're still looking for some of those answers. It took us a long time for them to release the police report, or the aided police report. It's a lot. It's just a lot to process. I cannot imagine what my mom is going through, especially feeling the way I feel. Every day I just feel broken. Every day I just try and process it, because my brother had two small children, two boys, 11-year-old and a 9-year-old, and they know how he passed away. They know that he got hit by a train. They're inquisitive. They ask these questions. You can't lie to these children and make up things and have them believing in fairy tales. They know what happened. So they know what happened. It's just now knowing why it happened. I have no idea why it happened, because minutes before he proceeded to get on the train, he was on the phone with my mom, having a conversation with her. Phone got disconnected. He called back, and she said when he was calling back, she was on her way to the bathroom. So she was like, I'm gonna call him right back. I just gotta run to the bathroom. You know how somebody's calling you at night and you're older, and you don't even have to be older. You just run into the bathroom. So in her head, she's thinking, okay, well, I'm just gonna run to the bathroom. I'm gonna call him right back, because the phone had got disconnected. Never was able to call him back, because literally 10 minutes between making that phone call and going downstairs to get on the train, he got hit. And when we ask questions in reference to the why, or exactly how it happened, oh, they only have one witness. There's no cameras. He got hit in Queens Plaza. That's a busy hub. So why can't we see the cameras? Why is there only one witness when that's a busy hub again, and it's August 10th in New York City, and it happened between 9 and 10. In the summertime, if you from New York City, you know in the summertime, there's crowds at all times of night, all times in the morning. So at 9 p.m. on August 10th, you're telling me like it wasn't a Sunday, so you're telling me like, oh, okay, well, there was nobody outside that time. So I just came on to make this video to kind of explain how he passed away. I'm still struggling with the why. Religiously, I know God makes no mistakes or things like that, but I just want to know, did you see anything? Did you hear anything? Did you just witness anything? What happened? Just what caused him to hit the train like that? What? It's just still so many questions that I have. Excuse me, I'm sorry. It still breaks me up to talk about it, or makes me angry. Because some of these answers are not answered. And if you know me, you know this was my brother I grew up with. Every day it was always Sheik and Pee Wee, Sheik and Pee Wee. All the time. It was just always me, him, and my mom. Right? Of course I have other siblings, and I'm not trying to take away from my relationship with any of them, but I was with this sibling more than I was with anybody. And it was just us and my mom for years before she had any additional children. The age gap between me and him, me and my brother who passes the 2-year age difference. And after that, there's a 12-year age difference between the next sibling. And then a 14-year age difference between the sibling after that. And of course, I do have siblings from my father's side, but a lot of the time I was with my mom and him. So I don't know. If you know anybody who was at the train station in Queens Plaza on August 10th, 2021, comment down below, reach out, let us know something. Again, I'm not gonna make this video too long because I don't want to start rambling and I don't want to start crying. So I just wanted to make this video just to kind of give you guys an idea of what happened, or how, I should say how he passed away, because I honestly don't know exactly the details of what happened. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in to my channel. I hope you guys all have a great day. Be blessed.